Girlfriend doesn't like being touched. Ever. Now I'll preface this by saying we 25 meters 24F have been together for 7 months and we used to have sex and cuddle quite often. Ever since the summer, even when it's cold, she simply doesn't let me get physical, whether that's a cuddle or even just holding her hand. I need physical contact in a relationship, and as far as I know nothing has happened to stop it. What can I do? It's affecting me at this point. Update edit: we're on holiday currently and I don't want to ruin it by asking questions etc. I asked for a cuddle, she said no and I accepted. I turn around to play on my phone in bed and she says fine, I'll give you a cuddle, and man, it felt so forced I almost started crying. Did something traumatic happen to your GF to cause this sudden shift in behavior? Perhaps she's lost interest? What does she say when you talk to her about it? Since you say you haven't talked seriously about it, that's your first step. She needs to know that this is really bothering you and not sustainable, and you need to know if there's something going on with her that explains the change. But if she can't or won't change this, then all you can do is decide whether it's a deal breaker for you. Then you either stay with her, drop the physical contact attempts, and find other ways to feel close, or you leave her so you can each find a partner who matches you better in this way. Have you talked to her about this? It sounds like something is going on, and it's important that the two of you communicate with each other if you want to stay together. You need physical contact in a relationship, so maybe try asking her what she would be okay with, or see if there are certain times when she feels comfortable being touched. What can I do? Talk to her. Right now, you're just letting this fester instead of addressing it. You know what's more important in a relationship than sex touching? Communication. You need to talk with her. Not defensive, not upset, not angry, not pleading. Calm, open, loving, open, curious, open. Am I making my point? If you have a conversation or two with her and there's no resolution, then you make different decisions. But you can't do that without information. She may also be feeling guilty about something. Ask her, not us. You shouldn't be asking us, you should be asking her. If there was a sudden change in intimacy, then clearly something is up. And it could something like her suddenly feeling very insecure with her appearance, or her mental health caused her libido to just plummet. On the other hand, maybe there's something going on when you guys have been intimate that she doesn't care for, but for whatever reason has not addressed it with you. Whatever the case, you guys need to be able to talk about this in a healthy, honest way. It's difficult to gauge what's happening behind a screen. A relationship without physical intimacy isn't much of a relationship at the best of times for most people. Communicate and have a really long and detailed chat. If things don't improve, perhaps consider leaving the relationship. The alternative is growing bitter and resentful from the lack of intimacy you are needing. Honestly, I don't know why you'd stick around at this point and even try to fix things. I know that sounds harsh, but you're in your 20s and have only been going out for 7 months. I can kinda get how people can fall into a dead bedroom type situation after marriage and kids and stuff, where it's hard to walk away from the relationship, but at the 7-month mark, if you're not shagging, then you're just friends emo. 7 months isn't a large time investment. You're already not only not having your needs met, but you're also not having great communication with each other about this. Either sit her down for a serious discussion or end things and find someone more compatible. 1. It is highly probable she has been assaulted without telling you. 2. If not, it means that you are not compatible anymore. Leave quietly. Have you tried, asking her? She either lost interest, is cheating, or something happened to her. Those are my guesses. It's a bad sign. When I act like that, usually it's because I'm disconnected with someone. Is it hot? Do you guys have no AC in the summer, which maybe deterred her? Either something traumatic happened that she isn't telling you about, or she is considering leaving. Number one thing is to go to her, and if you really want to make it work, Suggest counseling if it was a sudden flip. Did she have a pregnancy scare? Maybe she did not even tell you. If so, she might be afraid cuddling will lead to you wanting sex. Is she autistic? I go through phases of loving physical affection and then not wanting to be touched by a single soul. Sometimes it's just extremely overstimulating to me. My partner understands, we've compromised on some physical touch when I'm not as overstimulated. But this means I do not like to be rubbed or feel any moving touch at most times. A solid hug is amazing, or just being held. Find out what she is okay with. Cheating, calling it now. There's a Sancho in her life. Maybe you did some to skeeve her one time when I first dated my current. He ate Taco Bell. Then we tripped on acid. He finally passed out. 9 hours later I was awake still. He had a Taco Bell acid fart. I reconsider the relationship. The smell lingered. He was wrapped in a blanket, marinating in it, slowly sleeping out the blanket. It lingered 3 hours or better. We were 3 months together. It took a week to get over. I told him about it. We still laugh to this day 5 years later. Is there any chance she has cheated and feels guilty? I can tell you what happened. She is not into you anymore. She is ready to move on, but afraid to tell you. Not much of a relationship. Honestly, if there isn't something wrong, then I would say that she probably just isn't one of those people. If you need it that badly, then maybe it's time to move on from this relationship. This is partly the reason why me and my ex broke up recently. He's more into physical intimacy while I'm not. It stressed me and made me feel guilty every time I rejected his physical advances. It's not that I lost interest in him, I just have a lower sex drive than him. He has voiced this out a couple of times and I really tried hard to accommodate him, but it only put pressure on me more. It affected both of our mental states. Sounds like she's getting plowed by another man or got plowed by another man. You might think, nah, she wouldn't do that. But it happened to me until I couldn't lie to myself anymore. Pay attention to her behavior, etc. She might try to gaslight you or emotionally blackmail you. Leave her bro, just make her as a friend. Never argue, just try to have a conversation. Don't cry, don't beg. Cry when you're alone or in the shower. Never show your hand. Keep it P and you will be free. If she sees you plant the seed, you will be deceived. Cause loyalty gets put after greed. Indeed. Most likely getting better peen elsewhere. Have you told her how much of a deal breaker this is? Something clearly has happened to her. If it's a confidence thing, or maybe something happened between her and someone else or you and her that she doesn't want to be touched. You need to talk with her about it and try not to assume. Either that or she's seeing someone else. Talk to her immediately. She's cheating, lad. She is about to break up with you. Bro. Not even a hug? Yeah, fuck that, I would break up with her ASAP. What can you do? You need to go get what you need in life. You cannot get deprived of this basic need for human touch. She can't give it to you or is too erratic to do so consistently. Move on. Big red flag. Move on. Don't be held hostage. End the relationship. Sorry, but you might wanna split up with her. The reason doesn't matter. If you're incompatible like that, you'll only make each other miserable. Moving on. And reading the comments, it seems like you did your part. Can't work things out with someone who refuses to do their part. Dump her. Dude, just leave her. Break up. She's cheating. What are your interactions like on average? How do you initiate intimacy? Sounds like it could be trauma. In that case, she might benefit from a therapist. Would she feel open telling you about it? Have you had nice comments about people needing therapy in the past?